This is the Crookedrivercast. I am Robert, and the other voice you will hear in your head is Tom, and we are two guys trying to keep track of what is going on in the great state of Ohio. This is show 53 for the week of March 23rd, 2026. Let's do it! In the morning, Tom.
In the morning.
There's another show morning, and we have more stuff to discuss as usual. And how's everything? How's the week? Did you have a normal week? Anything crazy happen to you? You didn't get a flat tire?
No, you know what?
Flat tire
I had some. Pardon me.
Sorry. Did you get a flat tire in 71? Did you?
No. Did you?
I did get a flat tire in 71. This week. It was quite fun. I haven't got one in a while. With a 15-year-old daughter with her temps, it's like, oh, hey, there's a reminder. Probably show them how to change a tire. Hopefully never on 71.
Your truck?
A rental truck, actually. I did rent. I was debating on taking my truck on the business trip, and I was like, nah, let me rent. And here's the renting because...
Did you have the just regular street tires on that thing, right?
Yeah, it was a Nissan Frontier, which is their midsize pickup.
Yeah.
It had 20 miles on it.
Oh, nice.
It was a Virgin rental.
Nice.
And
gotta love those Virgins.
Yeah. Unfortunately, popped its tire, and on 71, I think I ran over a bungee hook.
No, really?
I ran one over, and then not too many minutes later, I got the light on the dash. And I was at 15 pounds by the time I clicked over. Pretty crazy.
Huh.
So I was like, well, I'm not going to make the exit. It's like 4 miles away. It happened to be that one section of 77 where you don't have a lot of exits. And I was like, well, so I'm changing the tire on the freeway. And here's a shout out. This is one of the main reasons I brought this up. Shout out to ODOT plow crew who stopped behind me on the berm with their lights on to block me and shield me from the traffic.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I was like, they're pulling up. I'm like, does he see me? I hope he does. And because it was snowing, and it wasn't snow on the street, but it was snowing just enough to make the whole side of the road complete mud. So I guess we got to do a little mud crawl. That was me.
You couldn't call. Yeah, I guess you didn't need to.
I could have. I want to wait a couple hours.
Yeah.
So it was a full spare on the truck. So I was like, you know what? And brand new, so nothing's rusted.
Right.
Came off really easy. But still, yeah, it's kind of unnerving with semis at 70 miles an hour, a foot away. It's always good. So yeah, heads up to, or shout out to ODOT. So thanks for that. I thought that was pretty nice of him. About half of my stop, he was behind me.
That's cool.
Protecting me. So yeah, it keeps the trucks from, pushes them off on, keeps them away. And a lot of lights and stuff. So I was pretty, happy, at least for that part, even though I was covered in mud.
Last time I got stuck on the highway, it was right close to Dead Man's Curve. And I don't know what they're called, but those guys, they're like safety guys or something. They come out and help you. And I think they even have, I think they even have gas with them, and they park behind you and they put the arrow on and all that.
I thought Rite Aid at one point was doing that.
I don't know who does that. But the guy was super friendly. He was
one of those places, like one of those. I thought I saw something like that on. You would see him on the freeway in a pickup truck with a cap on it, and they had the big sign up that you can put up.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm driving 55 miles an hour past them, so I can't see it.
Not really paying attention to that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's always a little wake up call there. So that was my beginning of my trip down to Kentucky. Bourbon country, it made up for it when I got there.
Yeah, I was going to say, at least you didn't have the bourbon beforehand.
No, but I definitely had one when I got there. Like, well, checking in the hotel. Oh, look, I've been delayed 2.5 hours. Oh, no, I guess I'll just go right to the bar.
So what was the lesson for your daughter with the temps?
Well, teach her how to change a tire.
Wait, she was with you?
No, I'm just saying, it reminded me, it's probably one of those things when she gets a car. This is what you have to do, and here's your spare. Now, will she ever use it? Probably not, but in the case that she might need to, at least
No, you don't want her to stick her leg out and
No, I don't. No, definitely not. What is he? Oh, that no. Don't hitchhike. Don't call.
No, not hitchhike. Just put your leg out there. Some guy will stop.
No, it's even worse. Or almost as bad. As bad. Anyway, moving on. That nonsense. Yeah, it was exciting. So I guess we'll start the show off on another dud like we did. I think last week was a little bit of a downer, but we'll try to bring it up. So we got word. Was it yesterday? It was yesterday.
Yeah,
that was Friday of last week. That Death now has a Chuck Norris problem. Death has a Chuck Norris problem. Chuck Norris has allowed Death to take him.
No.
He's
killed Death, and he's taken on its burden.
He's taken on. Yeah, unfortunately, Chuck Norris dies at 86 years old, and he looked really good for an 86-year-old.
It was, I think it was a surprise because he went to the hospital like 2 days before. They're not saying why he died.
Yes.
But he was in good spirits, and he was doing his typical stuff. So it kind of came on sudden.
Yeah. And I guess we can look to, of course, who else? None other than the Babylon Bee to give us a good story about Chuck Norris. 10 ways to honor Chuck Norris. We'll hit a couple of them. Number one, let's see. We'll go start down here. Of course, number 10. Subscribe to the Babylon Bee. It's what all the tough guys do. Let's see a couple other ones they have in here. Rescue a Latina in distress, and then tip your cowboy hat to her. A classy way to keep his memory alive. Make 7 bad movies in 1985. It will somehow only make you more of a legend. Let's see. Punch a shark in the face. We're sure Chuck Norris did this at least once. And the number one way to honor Chuck Norris on their top 10 list is perform 21 roundhouse kick salute. It's far more impressive than any rifle volley. So there you go. There's we all know the Chuck Norris memes. My favorite probably is the one I posted on X, which is what happened when Chuck Norris went to, I sent this to you. What happened when Chuck Norris went to a feminist rally?
What?
Came back with a sandwich and his shirt ironed. Wait, I don't even have one of those, do I? Do I have? Yes, I do. I should have just, I'm not even. There we go. I'm way behind on that one. But the best, so I heard a couple things about Chuck Norris. Apparently, when these memes, all these Chuck Norris memes started years ago.
Yeah.
His wife, I think it was right as the internet was coming up, or maybe just before. And the story went from something like this. His wife came up to him, to Chuck, and said, look at this. This has to stop. We've got to stop. This is getting out of hand. And his son came over and said, Mom, no. This makes Dad the coolest ever. She's like, really? Like, yeah. So they kind of just let it go and kind of fed into it. So here, what's the best way to say this? Here's some of the best Chuck Norris memes other than Chuck Norris himself saying them. So here you go. Here's Chuck on, this is years ago, on the Best Sports Show, I think it was. This is some of his top ones. They had top 10. This is top 3 he likes.
Now, this is one of my favorites here. When the boogeyman goes to sleep every night, he checks his closet for Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris is currently suing NBC, claiming Law and Order are trademark names for his left and right legs. Chuck Norris's tears cure cancer. Too bad he never cries, ever.
Oh,
now I'll get you my favorite one, though.
Here's
my favorite one.
Yes.
They wanted to put Chuck Norris's face on Mount Rushmore, but the granite wasn't hard enough for his beard.
Yes!
Oh, boy.
Oh, what a guy. This story is about him. I was listening to Glenn Beck. Just a clip came on YouTube. I remember listening to Glenn Beck years ago, talking about Chuck Norris and Friends and all that stuff. And yeah, he was one of the most famous people in the world and such a regular guy. That's what everybody keeps saying. So.
Did you see what Variety posted? So this poofed guy wrote this. Chuck Norris was a great action star, but politics may overshadow his legacy. But somebody, what do they call it when a reader added context to this thing?
On X, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, the commentary. Notes. Community notes. Is that what it is?
Yeah, community noted. Chuck Norris killed his shadow while shadow boxing. That's why you never see his shadow when it comes up behind you. Chuck Norris can never be overshadowed. Community notes.
And if you go to the B, you could see some other ones like, "Fear not," says Chuck Norris to calm down trembling angels. Yep, it was there's all kinds of those there. So check it out. I'll go check out the Babylon Bee. We got the link in the website, or it will be in the show notes at the blog. And there's some funny stuff out there. And rest in peace, prayers to his family. I'm sure that it was a huge shock. He was in great health. It looked like. Find out what happened. He wasn't. He didn't succumb to the pressure during COVID and take the vax, do you think? Did he?
I don't know. Sudden death. But I don't, that's.
But it's no idea. But it comes to mind nowadays. It comes to mind. All right, let's keep moving along, I guess. We can start with our little Iran update again, like we did last week. It was all the talk around all allies, Tom. They all said no to us, Tom. All our allies said no. Oh, no, they all said no to help.
Why do we give them money?
But did they say no?
I don't know. I haven't been paying attention.
So it's week 3, and we're still bombing. And now talks of ground troops. Marines have been sent over in the area. Amphibious Marines, talked about a little bit last week. Rumors and spottings of more, so we'll see what happens. Right now, Department of War is looking for they're working up a proposal to Congress for $200 billion, and this is where it's going to get sticky. And allies said no to helping in the Strait of Hormuz because Donald Trump's mean. He made them all mad because of his tariffs. Or did they? Let's hear from Fox News on this deal, and I think maybe people are coming around a little bit.
So $200 billion is the initial ask. He said that I could move in the press conference today. There was a brand new statement from many of our allies, including Japan, about the Strait of Hormuz. Give us the news and we'll react, Jillian.
So, Bill, this just into the newsroom provided to me from the British Embassy here in Washington as we were coming to air. But the allies are now saying that they are ready to contribute to appropriate efforts to ensure safe passage through the strait. We welcome the commitment of nations who are engaging in preparatory planning. As we all know very well, Bill, because we've been watching this unfold for the last few days, the president has been trying to rally support from the European countries, as has Secretary Rubio. I'm sure Secretary Hegseth has been doing the same behind the scenes. This is maybe too early to say, but sounds like potentially a capitulation. They're insisting that they want to contribute. And this came, by the way, Bill, from the UK, France, Germany, Italy, the Netherlands, and Japan, as mentioned.
Okay, thank you, Jillian. Nice to see you there. Rest the voice, going to need you, okay? Thank you, Department of State. Just to reiterate that, we express our readiness to contribute. We welcome the commitment of nations who are engaging in preparatory planning. So maybe there are more who come on board soon.
It's not necessarily that easy to immediately get because you have domestic politic issues that you have to deal with. And of course, a lot of these countries in Europe are dealing with very left-wing bases that really do not like Israel. Yeah. So, but they also need to get this strait open so that they don't crash their economy. So it's complicated, but it sounds like they're getting there.
Yeah. So it was all a bunch of nothing because it sounds like they're all coming around. It just was the initial, hey, hold on, let's check it out. Let me push back a little bit for show, and then in the back room we're going to say, yeah, what do you need? And the other thing no one's mentioned is the entire Middle East is like, yeah, what do you need?
Yeah.
So, all to do for nothing. That's why I kept seeing it going. Even some of the military channels I was watching are like, well, this is what happens when you, blah, blah. I'm like, easy, guys. Just give it a second, just like everything else. Let it play out and see what actually happens. And what you're going to find out is it's not what the initial reports are, because it's the media doing what the media does. So I guess everybody asks a question, when will this be done? And I don't think it's going to be done for quite a while.
Well, there's rumors of ground troops going to that island.
Yes. Yeah. To secure it. Yep.
Krog, or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Maybe so Israel doesn't bomb it, because they seem to be bombing all the oil sites. Doesn't sound like with our approval, but.
Well, we
have different
took
strategies.
out everything on that island except for the oil.
Right.
So I think we want to just secure the oil.
Yeah. If you put U.S. troops on there, Israel's not going to bomb it. So maybe that, but it sounds like we have slightly different strategies. Israel's like, we want to make sure they can't make any more money, to keep this effort alive as far as weapons and all the stuff that they keep stockpiling. So that's some of the rumors are. Of course, overplayed that, oh my gosh, the U.S. is mad. No, we just have slightly different strategies, and you just got to work with that. So I'm not sure. I think we're in for a long haul. Now, the problem is going to be when they start asking for more money. What's going to happen then? Because we don't have. Will it pass? I'm not sure.
I don't know. There's a lot of people against it right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just even if all the Republicans, or if you had just like most of the bills that are going through Congress now, you've got 5 or 6 Republicans, and sometimes they change names, but most of them are the same. And they've always got a little bit. And now you don't even have all those Republicans. There's a ton of Republicans that aren't going to vote for this, I think.
Yeah, but I think there's enough Democrats that will.
You think so, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Unless, yeah.
I don't. Wow. That would be a shock to me.
Yeah.
Just with previous.
I mean Fetterman's won.
At least. Actually, a good point. That's a good point. Fetterman's won.
And there's more.
Okay.
You're going to tell me who's the guy from Pennsylvania?
Shapiro?
Well, I forget. Yeah, when he vote, is he still in Congress?
I don't know, but it's TDS. It's the Democratic Party. They're pretty lockstep.
Yeah, but what is he?
Oh, yeah, he's Jewish, but.
Yeah, they're not going to vote against.
I mean,
Israel.
Okay, it's a great point. I'm still thinking TDS would be stronger than your ties to Israel.
I don't think so. I don't think. I think TDS does not trump the Israel thing.
Okay, that's a good point. We'll see. It'll be interesting. Good point.
You could see all the whenever the media starts talking about this, they all of a sudden the TDS is kind of gone. He's presidential.
That's true. When he bombs and kills people, they like it's really weird.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Japan, I had to pull this in because speaking of our allies, this was one of the clips I thought was it could be one of Trump's finest moments, in my opinion, as a president. So speaking with our allies in the White House, with Japan, in the Oval Office, to the press, and Japanese reporter asks, "Hey, why didn't you guys tell your allies? Why didn't you tell the Japanese people are kind of confused why you didn't tell one of your biggest allies?" And again, this is one of Trump's maybe best moments and funniest moments, whatever. And yes, this is what I voted for.
Yes.
So we are very confused about we Japanese citizens.
Well, one thing, you don't want to signal too much. When we go in, we went in very hard, and we didn't tell anybody about it because we wanted surprise. Who knows better about surprise than Japan? Hey, why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor? Okay, right? He's asking me. Now you believe in surprise. I think much more so than us. And we had to surprise him, and we did. And because of that surprise, we knocked out, the first 2 days, we probably knocked out 50% of and much more than we anticipated doing. So if I go and tell everybody about it, there's no longer a surprise, right? Okay.
That was a dumb question.
I know. And the look on the prime minister's face was like, she went, ooh. Not sure. Am I supposed to laugh? I'm not sure. Is that a joke? I can't figure it out. It was pretty good, though.
Well, it's a subject you don't bring up, right?
I mean, I think it's been long enough. I think it's been.
Oh, I agree. I thought it was funny. It was great.
Yeah.
and I think he knows better than anybody else what the prime minister is actually like. So
yes, yeah, I think she won because she's. That's something she probably laugh at. I think.
Yeah.
That's what everybody. Yeah. Even though
she probably just has a little bit more decorum than Trump, so she holds back.
Yes, she is Japanese.
Yeah.
But after that statement, if you listen or watch the rest of it, he goes, one more for the prime minister, one more for the prime minister. And everybody's going, blah, blah, blah. And he's going, for the prime minister? Is it for the prime? Okay, go ahead. So the person asks the question, and then Trump proceeds to just answer the question. I mean, he goes, well, I think more, the prime minister, and he does give her a chance to answer.
Right.
But the reporter asked the question, he jumps right in, and even the prime minister's like, oh, look, just kind of smiled and said, oh, he'll take this part of it. It's like, it was pretty funny. He did give her, he's like, no, but she knows more than I would. And she talked in Japanese, so I don't know what she said. It was something really good, I'm sure. Next, we'll touch one more little national story here. Hey, Tom, you ever heard of the group called Antifa?
There's no such thing.
That's what I heard too. And in case anyone disagrees, here's the supercut. Here's a whole bunch of very, very smart people. Oh my God, it was hard to say. Very smart people. It hurt again. Telling us, I mean, this is crazy. There's no such thing as Antifa, but yet there is.
There's no Antifa. This is an entirely imaginary organization. There is not an Antifa.
Like, I don't even know what Antifa is. There is no group.
It's not even like far-right groups like the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers. Compared to right-wing extremists, Antifa-linked violence is rare and limited.
It isn't an organization. It is in many ways mythology.
It's not like the Proud Boys or the Oath Keepers, sort of defined terrorist organizations with leadership that leads violence.
It's not a highly organized movement. It's a moniker. It's not a unified group like the Proud Boys are.
Things like Antifa are things that are thought up.
It's all in this guise of going after Antifa, which is nothing. There's no organization called Antifa.
Nobody's a member of Antifa because it doesn't exist. They are just declaring into existence something that doesn't exist.
There is no Antifa organization, so maybe that's good for social media, but it really is non-existent.
They exist on the internet in chat rooms and in 4chan and Discord and places like that, where they run discussion boards, trade tactics, documents, things like that. But none of them are called Antifa.
Sounds kind of terroristic to me if they're on the internet trading tactics and papers and how to, oh my gosh, how to blow things up. Not definitely just a make-believe total farce. But I'm not sure how this is even possible. So here's what, I mean, we've had arrests of people the Trump administration is claiming as Antifa. Here's a report. I do remember hearing this, an attack on an ICE facility last year, a year or so ago in Texas, and we've had some arrests, but it's weird because they're saying they're Antifa, and we just heard that there's no Antifa.
Yeah, Ken, the Department of Justice just released a statement. And to give you some context, normally a statement like this celebrating the outcome of a trial would come from the DOJ's local office. In this case, it comes from the Attorney General, Pam Bondi. She wrote, "Today's verdict on terrorism charges will not be the last as the Trump administration systematically dismantles Antifa and finally halts their violence on America's streets." She refers to it as an organization that has been allowed to flourish in what she calls Democrat-led cities. Out here, though, people in support of those on trial, you can see them. They have been protesting every day of the trial here, say this is far worse. The verdicts were far worse than what they were expecting. Their fear, they say, is that anyone who protests the government could now be labeled Antifa, and a terrorist.
Protest.
8 people in all were convicted of this terrorism charge, specifically a charge of providing material support to terrorists. The terrorist in this case being Antifa, which some witnesses described as not being any kind of official organization, but really a blanket term for groups on the left that oppose what they feel is government overreach. This was the first time the DOJ has brought a case of domestic terrorism involving Antifa. We also saw Benjamin Song convicted today of attempted murder for shooting an Alvarado police officer in the shoulder or neck area. That officer, who survived, was responding to a disturbance at the Prairie Land Immigration Detention Center in Alvarado. The protest.
So there's about a dozen of them outside this ICE facility. It sounded like they were vandalizing vehicles. And one of the officers showed up and saw one of them with a gun and approached him. And that's when they started shooting at the police officers, and one of them got wounded. And that's one of the guys that they prosecuted. Now listen to his excuse. This is what their defense was.
That all these defendants, or I should say most of these defendants, were at. He arrived, saw someone running away from graffiti, pulled his weapon. Song's attorney argued shots were fired by his client to distract officers
just to distract them.
That were responding. The jury, though, disagreed, finding that it was attempted murder. That jury did acquit 4 others of that attempted murder charge, those who did not pull the trigger. The other significant charge that we saw were convictions for use of an explosive. The explosive that we're talking about here is fireworks, the same kind that you can buy at a store. We spoke to the wife of Autumn Hill, one of the defendants, about that.
Listen.
Federal prosecutors in this case told a panel of Northern District of Texas residents with a straight face
I think
that
not.
lighting off fireworks on the 4th of July
That's what they were doing.
Terrorism.
They're just lighting fireworks off and throwing it at cops.
I cannot think of anything more un-American than that. And I cannot think of anything more inhumane than the horrors that ICE is inflicting through its state terror on our communities.
Not a wife. I'm calling it not a wife.
It's Trantifa.
A dude in the dress with, I think he does have boobs though.
That's what they call him. Trantifa.
No kidding. Really? What a shocker. One of the wives is trans. Oh, didn't see that one coming.
Well, a few of these people that got convicted are trannies.
Yeah, that was all over my bingo card, to tell you the truth. All over my bingo card.
Mental illness.
They, yes, it's so nice of them to show up at an ICE facility and start shooting it up.
Protesting, Rob.
Protesting. Thank you for bringing it back. Yes, because that's what they're doing. Because protesting means throwing rocks at police, throwing explosives. It's explosives, the same ones you can get at the store. Yeah, the same ones that they have laws against and protecting, quote unquote, protect people from themselves because there are people blowing hands off, which usually doesn't happen. But yes, it's an actual explosive. It has powder in it that explodes. And
burn somebody up.
Burn somebody pretty bad. And you've seen this is a tactic they've been using for a couple of years now, since Trump's first term, when they were doing it in Portland for like months and months on end. They had the federal courthouse under siege every night, locking the doors and setting fires, and then trying to concrete the lock shut, this kind of stuff. If they're not a terrorist organization, what are they? If these people aren't doing terrorism, what are they doing? Just protests? They're just protesting when they vandalize and slash tires? That's not protesting. That's rioting.
You know, back then in like when was that happening in Portland? Was it like 2019, 2020?
Yeah.
Right around that time, right?
Yeah.
I kind of
yes.
remember when that clip that you played, a lot of those people saying that Antifa doesn't exist comes from that time, I think.
Yep.
Around that time.
Yes.
And all the way through when he announced that he declared Antifa a terrorist group, right?
Yep.
So they've been saying that forever. Anyways, back then I did a search on Facebook and kind of typed in Antifa. I want to see what came up, and just about every major city, including Cleveland, had an Antifa group. Cleveland's was, there was hardly any activity on there. But and it's gone now. Most of the groups are gone now off of. I just looked today, and most of them are gone off of Facebook. And I think there's a couple. I don't know if there's 2 or 1 main guy of Antifa that doesn't exist. Has fled the States. So I think he was more of a
figurehead, maybe.
Well, I don't know about a figurehead, but kind of gave him a lot of money.
I mean, I don't think
funded a lot of the stuff.
I don't think some of those that supercut. I mean, there's some truth to that. They don't really have leaders. There's not like
there's not a central
headquarters, not centralized.
Yeah, but it is just a decentralized group. I mean, just because they don't have like a main office doesn't mean they don't
have
exist.
A website and a logo. Doesn't.
Well, but they do. I mean, you can find that.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point. But just because they're decentralized and don't have somebody that they call the leader doesn't mean they're not a terrorist organization. It actually would lend you to believe that maybe they are more of a terrorist organization, because that's kind of done intentionally so that you can't break them up by just taking their leader. That's one of the reasons they do that, is that there's not just one, chain of command. There's a bunch of different ones. What this really brings though is, where's the money coming from? Because go watch this clip from, I forgot to see who that was from. That was from CBS 11 in Texas. And
by the way,
yeah,
I just did a search for a website, and there's one called JStore.org, and it's a New York City Antifa. Come join the movement. I mean, the resistance, I should say.
Oh,
so yeah, there's so many websites for them. Yeah, sorry.
You're fine.
I needed to double check that.
So who's supporting him? Because if you look at this CBS clip, it's local CBS in Texas. They got some of the prettiest signs I've ever seen. They have signs with caricatures of all the defendants on the signs with their names, like free so and so. They got a caricature all. Like these are, and there's a huge banner behind them. I mean, that where are they getting the money from?
Mm-hmm.
That's where this really comes in. Is if you can follow the money, you're gonna see who's leading this, basically. And it's not just one person; it's multiple people, multiple organizations, and so on.
Yeah.
Dark money groups.
Yeah, well, I think the main players have fled. But anyways, this is a good test to see what. This was a good outcome. It's the first time Antifa has actually been convicted. Mm-hmm. But this is a good test to see where it goes from here, with what Bondi and what's the FBI guy?
Cash
Patel are doing. Because I have not, they are on my shit list, to say the least. They have not done a good job, but if they come through on this, which I don't see it happening, to tell you the truth. But if they do, then
what do you mean? See what happening? That's what I'm kind of
convict people.
Besides these guys, like convict.
Yeah. Well, this
convict the money an easy one. Is what I want to see.
Yeah. Exactly. You need to kill the organization.
Follow the money and get the big fish, at least one of them, and that would be an accomplishment to me. This is cool, but it's not this is something that's well overdue, and it should have happened a long time ago.
Right.
I just want to bring up one thing. They bring up this protest all the time, and protest, and the right to protest. And I'm sorry, the words mean something. You do not have a right to protest. You technically have a right to assemble. Peaceably assemble is the words.
Mm-hmm.
So once you start not being peaceable. Was that once you stop being peaceful, your rights go away. You don't have the right to be there anymore. And once they deem it a unlawful assembly, I mean, now you got to fight it in court later on, because what are you going to do? Well, what you're going to do is you're going to throw rocks and explosives at the cops when they try to flush you out, and that's what's happening here. So nobody's going to get arrested for protesting or for assembling, but these people will, because they go way beyond. It's not about protesting or assembling. It's about fear and inciting violence in the masses. That's what they do. There will 5,000 people show up. They'll inject 15 or 20 people, and you could see them because they're usually the ones in the bright vests, directing people on what to do. and they start the crap, and that's when the violence comes. You get a bunch of people in the crowd, and it's not hard to get them the.
All you needed to do is get a couple of people to react to what the instigator does, and it becomes a mob.
Yeah, well, once somebody sees somebody else doing it, that gives them permission to do it, and so on and so on and so on. Look at almost all the Black Lives Matter protests they were peaceful during the day, and once dusk hit, things started getting thrown, tear gas started getting in, and then that's when the looting started. So there's that. So Antifa, who doesn't exist, currently a terrorist organization that doesn't exist, they got arrested. I mean, I bet they think it exists now. I bet they're pretty convinced. There are some people that got off. I think they tried to convict 4 people of murder, and they only got the one guy because he's the one who actually pulled the trigger. Shot the cop. Cop survived.
Murder. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Cop survived. All that and all that nonsense. So there's that. Good work, I think, so far. We'll see how much better you can get at it. Next, we have. Well, did you hear the Meteor, Tom?
Oh, by the way, Mark Bray, Rutgers University history professor and author of Antifa, the Anti-Fascist Handbook. He's the one who's fled the. US.
Okay. Well, I could see why.
Yeah,
I could see why that makes sense now.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, you're good. I was saying, did you hear the Meteor the other day?
I did not. My wife was at home, and she did. She actually ran to the front door to see what happened.
Yeah, it felt like I thought something was on the roof of my house.
Oh, really?
I was walking to the house. It was I did one of those, what the heck was that, kind of duck down kind of things. And I ran to the front door, opened the front door, and I heard more.
Oh, you heard the particles breaking off?
Yeah. So I heard the big boom. I think that was a sonic boom.
Yeah, probably.
And then I opened the front door, looked out over across the street, which is looking west, and I heard crackle, crackle, crackle. You know, you heard the breaking and the crackling. Oh, yeah. I was like, what in the world was that? Because I'm looking west. There's an airport there. So so I walked outside, and my neighbor across the street come outside, and he's like, did you hear that? I go, yeah. He's like, I thought something hit my house. I go, that's what I came out for. And no, I was like, I mean, there's dark clouds in the sky, so I thought possibly winter thunder, but no, not that much. And then it turns out a meteor, a 7-ton meteor.
Only 6 foot, too.
Yeah, 6 foot wide, weighing 7 tons, traveling at southeast at 45,000 miles an hour before breaking apart in Medina County. Apparently, people are finding fragments of it in some parks in Medina.
Yeah, I've seen some pretty cool pictures.
Yeah. So that was with everything else going on, you're like, oh crap.
I think even somebody here in my city, I guess I kind of border Medina County. They found it. They found a little fragment on their deck.
Oh wow. Jeez, that's crazy. Well, apparently these things happen all the time.
Yeah, like you know what's kind of weird about this one though? Wouldn't you be kind of put on notice to look for this?
They didn't see it coming. It wasn't big enough.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't big enough from what I understand.
Oh, okay.
And probably because they figured it will break up into little pieces. So if you're got to narrow the looking for, earth destroying comets or.
I'm sorry, that quarter-sized fragment still would sting.
Oh, it'd sting. Yeah. It could go. Yeah. It'd be much more than sting. But yeah, they said they didn't see it on any systems or anything else probably because of the size of it. Only 7 tons and 6 foot wide. Yeah. So that's kind of the reason, I guess, for that. What else is there?
Well, that's what they're telling us.
That's what they're telling us. I think
they're telling us it's a meteor.
I think we should really pay attention to Medina County in the coming weeks.
Lizard people?
There's all going to be all kinds of reports of missing dogs and cats.
Eyelids going the wrong way.
People with double eyelids. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, those kind of. But there's one place that sees an opportunity, And that's GV Art and Design. I've never heard of this company, but this is a Fox 8 article we got in the show notes that Susan Stanford spoke with the owner of GV and Art Designs, who confirmed it was 1T. They didn't count on having to make this St. Patrick's Day. We weren't sitting on this one for the last few St. Patrick's Day waiting for it to happen. No, of course. He said, but when you get hundreds of requests, we're like, okay, well, let's get something going. So they had a pretty cool T-shirt still up there. Say St. Patrick's Day, Shamrock in Cleveland with a little meteorite going into the pot of gold.
Yeah, it's cool.
From snow to sunshine to meteors.
First comment I saw on social media was a leprechaun farted.
Yeah. I heard that too. And let's see, I heard the parade was a dud because of the cold.
Yeah, it was freezing, man.
Freezing. It was like 20 degrees. I mean, the sun came out, but still, it's freaking 20 degrees and started snowing. I had somebody I knew went down there, but they have a hotel every year. They get a hotel overlooking the route. And he's like, yeah, there was nobody down there.
Wow.
Yeah, no kidding. So that was the fun Tuesday afternoon. Over meteors falling from the sky. Almost kind of almost pooped my pants a little bit, I have to admit. It's pretty loud. Let's go on next to I guess some more meaty news. We mentioned last week a little bit update on the First Energy trial, and this week we towards the end of the week, Senator John Husted testified for the defense in the trial, in the First Energy bribery trial. So here, let's do a little bit. So this will kind of cover, and then later in the week, I think towards the end of the week, Wednesday or Thursday, the jury, the case was given to the jury for deliberation. As of this morning, on the 21st, is not no decision has been made from the jury as far as I can see. So they're still going to be deliberating. It sounds like they might do it for a while because there's a lot of stuff in this case. But let's hear from News Channel 5 on a little bit on Husted's testifying on the stand and a little bit about the trial, I guess. Not a whole lot here for Husted, but a couple things we could bring up.
Ohio Senator John Husted took the witness stand today in the trial of two former First Energy executives who are accused of bribing a state official. The defense called Husted, who served in Governor Mike DeWine's administration as a lieutenant governor. He was present in multiple wiretap meetings with both Michael Dowling and Chuck Jones. Both of those men have pleaded not guilty to bribery. In his role, Husted advocated for legislation bailing out two nuclear plants, now known as House Bill 6. Husted has not been charged with any wrongdoing and denies knowing anything about the scheme.
I know nothing.
You wouldn't tolerate a chair compromised by secret financial dealings with a utility they regulate, would you?
I would not, and I'm sure the governor would not either.
Husted reportedly received over $1 million from First Energy through a dark money group to support his 2017 run for governor, along with another $2.5 million in 2018 to help him and Governor DeWine. Defense attorneys have continued to paint Sam Randazzo as the person who stole money. Randazzo died by suicide in April of 2024.
Always got to blame the dead guy. Why do I want to look at this story? This whole thing, it does not feel like the prosecution has a whole lot on these guys.
Not really, right?
Does not feel like they have. It's a lot of assumption, it sounds like. But I mean, all that in the context of First Energy has admitted as a company to bribery. So who did the bribing? Or somebody has to have done the bribing. The dead guy is what they're saying.
Convenient.
Husted, couple of things. Husted was in meetings with these guys, with Jones and, or the other guy, I can't remember his name now, that were wiretapped.
Right.
So but wiretap meetings, and this is the first time I've heard of that they were in wiretap meetings, which tells me they didn't get a whole lot of those meetings.
Right.
As far as evidence. Dark money groups, yeah, PACs and stuff like that. It's not necessarily. That's always a sinister. Ooh, dark money groups. It is a lot of money coming from First Energy going to Husted and DeWine. So I don't mind the scrutiny. I don't see any. There's nothing there that I can tell. Other than they pushed for this Randazzo guy. Initially, First Energy wasn't on board with Randazzo, supposedly. But after they saw that this guy was going to be the front runner, they got on board. Now he does have dealings with First Energy. Did anybody know about that? Sounds like they did, and they let it go anyway. So I don't know. What's your take on this? You got anything? Anything?
Nothing of substance.
Yeah.
I just I sort of zone out because I don't see anything.
So just to recap, this, like they said, HB6. This was to help recoup First Energy's money from shutting down the nuke plants, and they supposedly pushed for HB6 so they can get paid back, it would not hit their stock price, which for CEOs and board members is how a lot of their compensation comes around, increase in stock price and all that stuff. You get bonuses from it. So that's why, that's what they're saying these top people at First Energy were trying to do. They were trying to shield the company from a loss by putting on the taxpayer, bribing legislatures to get it on there so that their stock price didn't take a hit. Because if they were going to lose $200 million, they weren't going to get a bonus this year. Would be, I don't know, my guess. And look, they maybe lose their jobs and all that fun stuff. So that's kind of the meat of it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what they're going to do. I don't know. I get a good feeling that they're going to. I don't get a feeling either way. It just feels like there needs to be more. I don't know. I keep thinking keep waiting for something else to come out. That's why this came on trial, and I kind of just let it sit. Let's let it marinate for a week or so and see what comes out.
But there's been nothing.
Not really. I mean, a couple of somewhat texts that are somewhat slimy, but nothing incriminating that I could see.
Slimy in context or out of context?
I mean, when you're complaining, when the CEO of First Energy is complaining because Husted's not getting his bill in the legislature, he's complaining to Randazzo, the chairman of the regulatory PUCO, and that is, I mean, that's the context. He's watching the stock price, or he's watching the legislation, watching for this legislation to be put on the ballot or on the ticket, and it's not, and he's complaining about it.
Well, okay, it's not. He was hoping for it, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It could be. I mean, in either that's what I mean. In the correct context, you still see that as going, oh, but there has to be more. There has to be something else. There's no smoking gun that I can see. And not to say these guys are innocent. I don't know, but you need more than that. And the other one I saw, these are the big ones that I saw, and someone correct us if we're missing something. But the other one was he sent a text to Randazzo, I think, with a screenshot of the First Energy stock price going up, saying, "My mama always told me to say thank you." Again, a slightly incriminating, I mean, kind of slimy, a little sus, but there has to be something else behind it, not just that.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of Husted, while we're on the topic, he is, we've got a couple stories there for the First Energy. Just check them out. And, if you want something to put you to sleep, check it out. Speaking of Husted, though, we got a Scene magazine story here while we're talking about them. Polls show U.S. Senate race statistically tied with health insurance, a big concern among voters. So this is Scene magazine. A new poll from a GOP firm has former Ohio Democrat Senator Sherrod Brown 2 points up on incumbent Ohio Republican U.S. Senator John Husted in the 2026 election. Okay. What's the margin of error for this poll? That would be my first question, because 2 points is nothing in most cases.
It's 4.
Does it say 4?
Yeah.
Because I thought I looked for it this morning. I didn't see it. Okay, that's usually higher than normal. But
yeah,
one of the
usually
reasons,
it's like 3, right? 2
to 3, yeah. And I think one of the reasons is because they only polled 600 people, which is, to me, pretty low for a poll. But I guess pretty low for a poll. But I guess when you just taking Ohio, maybe not. Nationwide, it's very low. Nationwide, they're usually at 1,200 or something like that. When I see it, 1,200, 2,000. So with a 4-point margin of error, you did it. Yeah. Brown's up 47 to 45.
Yeah, but what I went on Real Clear Polling, which is a Real Clear Politics website, and checked it out there right now. Houston, in aggregate, is leading by 1.4. Same thing, though. You got about 2
points of margin of error. The race, well, it says here, Tom, though, here's the biggest problem. The races are closely watched with President Trump's declining popularity.
that was the best line.
Yep.
Scene does a great job of being TDS, but his polling is going down, his favorability. But that's kind of typical. It's been pretty steady over this time through, and I think it's just down right now because of, gas prices are higher and the war's happening. And then you had all the ICE stuff too. So that was kind of bringing his polling down.
Yeah, the ICE stuff was, when you looked into it, you understood it, but from the normal public's view,
optics, it was
optics.
bad.
Yeah, optics were really bad.
And that I don't blame Trump for that. That's mainly because of Nome and the news was doing a good job on that, right?
I do blame Nome to some extent, but there's only so much that they could really do when you're clipping videos the way, and you're conveniently editing these ICE videos.
Yeah.
In certain ways, there's almost nothing you can do, but I don't think she did enough. I don't think she did everything. I mean, she did a really good commercial.
Her messaging was terrible, though.
Yeah.
That's a thing, especially when I forget his name. That started with the P. The guy got shot.
Preddy, was it?
Preddy. Yeah. When he got shot, her messaging was terrible. Like she could have done a little bit better job there. And even with what was it, Gabby? Was it the woman that got shot through the windshield? That wasn't as bad, but when Preddy got shot, her messaging was terrible.
Well, and that with the woman who got shot, the mother, it was, I think 2 days after she was shot, the reports came out that the DOJ was investigating her wife, and that, like, I'm not saying you shouldn't investigate her wife, but maybe give it a week, maybe give it or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It looked. I mean, I get, again, a logical person would say, yeah, I get why you're going to look into it, but these people were stalking ICE agents. But it looked, the optics were horrible. Like, they just shot her, and now they're investigating her wife. I'm like, whoa. I mean, balls, I like it, but definitely high T. But optics was horrible.
Yeah.
So in Ohio, it says 37% said insurance companies. Which part of the healthcare is a big thing in the poll. So respondents were asked which part of the healthcare system gave them the most problems. Gee, what a shock. 37% said insurance companies, 14% said pharmaceutical companies, and 12% said hospital systems, and 6% said drug middlemen known as pharmacy benefit managers. And that's, I think, a winning strategy for Trump. He's pushing some of these new, getting the middlemen out to get the drug prices down, taking some of the power of the insurance companies away by giving, if you're going to give free healthcare or subsidized healthcare, give it to the people to pay and not the insurance companies. It won't get passed, but push on it and I think they need to push on that and push on why it won't get passed, because Congress is owned by the insurance companies. So I think that's a winning issue if they keep pushing on it, because it's always at top of the list. Healthcare costs, along with energy and stuff.
What else is disingenuous about this article? The New York Times poll tracker showed Houston with consistent leads in surveys conducted last year, but he and Brown are running neck and neck in the 3 conducted so far in 2026. But they don't mention that Brown wasn't running last year.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And it's a New York Times poll. Should it really be? Should any Republican be ahead in a New York Times poll?
Well, it's a New York Times poll, but he was the only one running. I mean, this is just
I see.
Scene not telling you all the.
Oh, yeah. No, I see.
Facts,
I knew that now. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's just Scene being seen.
Yeah, the Scene being activist.
Yep.
See, we'll get more of that later. Don't worry. So yeah, neck and neck. We'll see. It's going to be close. Like they're all been within 5 points. I think this one will be similar.
This one's going to be a little closer because Brown's got name recognition.
Name recognition.
He's been there before too, right? He's been a senator. Yeah.
Yes.
So he's he has a chance.
Yeah, definitely has a chance.
And if you ask me, I'm expecting the Republicans to lose the House. I was expecting them to keep the Senate, but I think it's going to depend on what's going on with the economy and the war.
Boy.
If they lose the Senate, it's going to be a shit show.
It's going to be a shit show regardless, but definitely a major shit show with.
Yeah, he'll be convicted. Well, probably not.
He'll be impeached.
You can be impeached, but not convicted. No, he won't because you still need 60.
Oh, you do? Okay.
But it'll be a
that's to me why I think the push is get all the stuff in play before the midterms, because I don't know how much they're going to be able to do after the midterms. Well, I guess we'll see.
Oh, nothing. At this point, I thought they had a chance to hold on to the House early on, but the way it's going right now, I don't see that at all. I really don't.
Again, generally speaking, regardless of how popular the president is, Obama lost his midterm after his first, and he's the most popular president ever, right? That's what I'm told.
Yeah, but he wasn't really.
No, but he wasn't. But he lost it.
I think Trump's approval ratings are actually better than Obama's at this point in presidency.
The second term, maybe.
Yeah,
it might be. I looked it up, but so we'll keep an eye on that race. But next week we'll have some more. There's some Amy Acton stuff that's been coming out this week. I'm kind of pulling together for next week's show.
Oh, cool.
A little scandal, a little Ohio scandal going on, maybe.
I don't know if it's a scandal, but it's fun.
I don't know if it's a scandal, but it's something. So yeah, tell us what you think about Husted. Tell us what you think about the first energy trial. Tell us what we're missing. What's the exciting part? Are we missing some of the information? Did I miss some of any texts that were damning to anybody or anything come out of these silly wiretap meetings? Apparently nothing. So let us know if I'm missing anything on that. We're missing anything on that. Shoot us an email, crookedrivercast@gmail.com. Check out the show. Check out the blog after the show drops on Mondays. You can follow along with most of or all of our stories and most of our clips, as long as I remember to put them in there. And then you can tell us where we're wrong or where we're right or all that kind of stuff. So crookedrivercast.com for the blog every Monday. Tell us what you think. Send us a note about, what's going on in your area. Maybe you got some shenanigans from your local city council. Send it over to us. Maybe we'll put it into the show. And if you're feeling adventurous, try to find me over on that.
Me love cookie.
And that's that. So check out the show, crookedrivercast@gmail.com. Moving a long time. We've got more data center talk. It's becoming like a weekly thing sometimes. More and more data centers. Got more popping up all over. Seems like every week I hear about more projected or starting. And I think we'll go with New Russia. We've been talked about them a couple times. This Lorain County, a city or village in Lorain County, and they've been going back and forth with a mega site that some people want to put in the area, and they just had a vote. So I think a few weeks ago, the committee? I think it was like the development committee in New Russia Township, trustee backed a 4-1 vote. Last month's vote for the Township Planning Committee. Last month, they voted 4-1 to reject it. And now the trustees of the township have voted 3-0 to put a temporary ban. No, that's not this one, is it? No, they don't want this site. That's the next. We got two stories here, both kind of overlapping. So that was kind of a question we had. It was like, well, the planning committee says no. Well, the village say no, and they have said no, at least for now, because what they wanted to do was take an existing site that they've already approved for rezoning and add 600 acres to it to make it over 1,000+ acre mega site. Now, not necessarily for data centers, but they're saying for semiconductor chip manufacturing and other high-tech manufacturing. But let's be honest, the majority of those are going to be data centers. So it looks like the county wants to invest close to $500 million in building a sewer and water system. They want to just put this money in before anybody commits to it. They also want to combine the 622 acres to get more than 900 acres, almost 1,000, that the county, because they own a bunch of land, they want to add it to this other land and rezone it to get them to close to 1,000 acres. That's a massive site.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a city, like a small city.
Small city full of no one.
Full of nobody but computers.
Yep.
And cooling units. And let's see what else we have. They don't. The biggest problem is they don't know what's going to be there. So how are they supposed to promise the community that this is going to be a good thing for the community if they don't know what's going to be in these mega sites? But then again, they're saying these companies won't come there unless you do these things first, which is rezone it. They won't even visit the site unless it's already rezoned. Because why? I mean, and in their mind, why bother if it's not going to happen? It's kind of a waste of their time. So semiconductor projects in the region near Columbus, West Lafayette, Indiana, and upstate New York have faced delays. And in West Lafayette, Indiana, they have a lawsuit going on there. So there's a lot of talk. I mean, it's just really coming up to the top of people's list of issues. Have you heard anything in your end of it? Like, what are you hearing? Do you talk to people about this at all? And do they even know what's going on? Because I'm in a bubble because of my industry.
Well, I know. If you're in the suburbs, nobody's talking about this.
Right.
I don't. I haven't. I should reach out to them. Because I know a few people. I think there's a few listeners actually that live in townships and in a rural area, and we should reach out to them and see what they're seeing and see what they're thinking about this too.
Consider it done. We just reached out to them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, there's a couple that aren't listeners that I know that I should reach out to, but I just don't know enough people to know exactly what's going on.
Like I've mentioned before, I know people that are financially gaining from having a data center in their area as far as construction jobs, but also at the same time fighting the community against, to stop it at some point until it was, already done. And then you just might as well make some money off of it. It's going to go in anyway. So they're almost diametrically opposed to themselves. It's like, yeah, I like to work, but geez, I bought this house 5 years ago to retire here and have a nice quiet life. And now I got a data center in my backyard.
Yeah. It's not cool. It's not cool.
No.
You know what? I didn't look at I knew Russia Township is close to like that Route 2, I think.
Yeah, it's 2 and 90. It's all in that area.
Yeah. Is this like land like right along 2, or is it like in the further away?
Good question. Let's listen to, I do have for the next story, which is a township has put a temporary ban. Another township in Lorain County that has put a ban on, or at least a temporary ban on data centers for the time being. This is last article is IdeaStream, which actually is a pretty good article from IdeaStream. Had a lot of good stuff in it as far as facts and stuff. This one is News Channel 5. Let's see what they say. Wellington data center ban.
More Northeast Ohio communities are joining a growing debate over controversial high-tech development. This week, the village of Wellington became the latest to block the construction of data centers. Lorain County reporter Catherine Ross has been covering the development pushback in rural communities there. She explains now why Wellington leaders say they're being proactive.
Wellington wears its history on its sleeve, takes pride in its role in the county fair, and for years it's been carefully preserving its small town charm.
It's America's hometown, right? This is what everybody's hometown wants to be.
It's not a label Wellington Mayor Hans Schneider takes lightly, and in this hometown, he says neighbors have been clear.
You want to listen to your residents as much as possible, and try and find common ground. I just don't think there's a place for them out here.
Them refers to data centers, the often sprawling facilities used to store, manage, and process our digital information. This week, Wellington formally banned data centers with a 1-year moratorium. Many neighbors told us they support that ban.
Everybody's against it. Everyone I've ever talked to about it. When it gets built around you, then their property value can take a big plunge. And I would be very scared if I were the people up north of us that might happen to them.
Most people we talk to here in Wellington say they value the town's history, its ties to agriculture, and they don't want to lose that identity. If this all sounds familiar, it's because conversations like this have been taking place around the county for months now.
Opposition to a so-called mega site has been at the forefront in New Russia Township. County leaders say they're not planning on a data center here specifically, but that hasn't stopped neighbors from voicing their concerns about any development displacing farmland. Rural development is also top of mind in nearby Brownhelm Township, where a company recently acquired another large swath of land. After a community survey in Grafton, village leaders there turned down data centers showing interest. Sheffield Village is holding its own meeting this week to talk about a new data warehouse ordinance.
All over Lorraine
and just over the county line in Vermilion Township, leaders recently passed their own moratorium. Back in Wellington, neighbors say they prefer to keep data centers out so they can keep the community rural.
I moved out here for a reason, to get away from the city.
Mayor Schneider says the village is following its residents' wishes, and as the debate over development gets closer to home, he says he wants to protect the hometown.
It gives us time to see how these things start to develop and what course they run, and then what do we need to do on our end to either make them viable or not viable.
In Wellington, I'm Lorain County reporter Catherine Ross.
And some people in Southwest Ohio are taking their fight to the state level. They submitted a petition to the Ohio Attorney General's office to put a constitutional amendment on the ballot that would ban the building of data centers that would use more than 25 megawatts of electricity a month.
So to answer your question, yes, all over. Close to the freeway, or far away from the freeway, all over. It seems like there's probably 6 or 7. I think they went through 5 or 6 different sites in just Lorain County alone. That's just Lorain County.
Yeah.
It's going up, and almost every county in the state of Ohio is dealing with this in some way, at least. Even Cuyahoga County. I mean, they've got issues too with some same kind of deal. So this is an everywhere kind of problem. I am not a ban things kind of person. I like this temporarily. Like, let's take a look. Hold on, stop, pump the brakes. This is getting out of hand. And a lot of times by the time people see what's happening, it's too late. So I appreciate that part, but I don't know, a statewide ban.
I don't know about a statewide ban, but if the residents of a township don't want it, then
yes,
that's
keep
why
it out.
I like to see it. And the other thing too is, you could be like, there could be 2 townships right next to each other, and you could be right on the line.
Yep, that's happened.
So
I saw.
It needs to be, the community really needs to stick together on this and pay attention.
Yeah. This is what democracy looks like. That's the old chant they always say in the lefty protests. This is actually it. This is the local politics is the most important, and this couldn't be a better example of why.
Well, I like what I'm seeing. It seems like people are paying attention.
Yeah, using the voice and in a peaceful way, like the founding fathers would love to have seen. And I think one of the biggest pluses is because it's the rural community, and they tend to be much closer knit communities. They talk to each other more. Because you got to rely on your neighbors more, kind of thing. So I think that's another. If this was happening in the city, not to say it could necessarily because of the size of these things, most people wouldn't even know about it until it was already.
No, I have a buddy who owns 20 acres in a rural township here in Northeast Ohio, and he said he had 1 acre. It was still kind of rural, but like in the city of I think it was Chardon, and he said he knows his neighbor far better in his area than he did in Chardon, who was like right next door, 5 feet away. So
yeah, I can see that. I could see that. So yeah, I think that's one of the pluses. Is it is happening in these types of communities, so we're seeing much more of it. So good for them. Great. I just love seeing that when people get, whether you agree with it or not, it's still the way the process is supposed to happen. Local politics is most important. So keep up on that. Well, I'm sure there'll be more stories coming out there. They want to do this constitutional amendment to ban data centers. We'll see how that goes. We'll keep you up to date on that as much as we can. Let's moving along. We got a couple of stories here. Do another critter corner because we got to let these bite babies out there. They've been chomping at the bit all week. So let's get them. Come on, critters. There you go. Still creepy. Still makes me go, ew. Where's your sound effect at?
Ew.
Thank you. All right, first on the list, Critter Corner. First of all, I would like to put this little note in there for me. If you see something fishy or something weird or funny or concerning coming through the state legislature or your local county or city, send us a note. Send us a bill. If you see something, maybe we think we're going to miss it, send it to us. We'll take a look at it. Add it maybe to the Critter Corner one segment. First on the list is not a necessarily a topic I thought we'd be bringing up on the show ever, but HB 767 is legislation to help force insurance companies to cover menopausal hormonal therapy. Let's listen to the idea stream because who else would have this on this little HB 767.
Two Democrats in the Ohio House want lawmakers to approve a bill that would make it easier for women to get menopausal hormone therapy. Representative Ashley Bryant Bailey says there's an affectionate nickname for the bill she says would make it easier for women suffering with menopausal symptoms like sleep loss or hot flashes.
So around the State House, we've also made a nickname for this bill, which is the Hottie Act.
Fellow Democratic Rep and OBGYN Anita Samani says hormone therapy can have positive health impacts for women before, during, and after menopause, but it can also be expensive and insurance doesn't often cover it.
And I don't think that's how we should provide health care based on who can afford it and who can't.
Samani says this bill would align Ohio's insurance standards with updated federal guidance and clinical evidence to ensure women who need hormone therapy during menopause can get it. Joe Ingles at the Ohio Public Radio State House News Bureau.
Do you think they put need in quotes?
Do you need it? No, but
it would be helpful, yes.
Yeah, no, it's if the cost came down, it would be great. My wife did the hormone therapy for a short while, but we just can't afford it. It's to do it. She did it for a little while. It helps. She feels better. She sleeps better. I can actually raise the furnace temperature at night. It's she liked it. She felt better on it. But
what's your opinion? Is that something that you think insurance should cover? It's kind of I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know the workings of how the costs work, but it would be nice if it was cheaper. I mean, if we're getting shafted and they're getting it for pennies on the dollar in Mexico, then I'm pissed.
And that's maybe where some of the legislation or some of the executive orders or the deals that the Trump administration has been making with pharmaceutical companies, because for years they've been saying, oh no, all these other countries get caps and they put socialized medicine in, so you can only charge X amount, and they're saying. They talk to the drug companies. Yeah, let the Americans pay for it. Yeah.
Well, this is a Medicaid. This is hormone therapy, so it's a little different, I guess.
Well, but still, like, why is a Tylenol in a hospital $800?
Well, there's that.
Yeah. This is all part of that. I think.
I would like the price to come down. I don't know if insurance has to cover it, but if it instead of a couple of grand for 6 months, if it was $500 or not 500 is too much, but if it was like, I don't know, let's say it was $50 a month, that'd be worth it for a lot of people.
And the reason I question, oh, sorry.
I was going to say a lot more people can afford it, and you have a lot more happy wives.
Well, save marriages, get hormone therapy. My pushback is it's for focusing and sleeping. It's not, there's no, like, it's not, it seems like something that would be an elective kind, and it sounds like it is.
Well, I mean, if
it should be cheaper, that's the biggest thing.
That's my thing. It should be cheaper, but you can argue that if you're not getting good sleep, that's very unhealthy too.
Okay, good point.
The other thing, but from the other side, as men, can we get testosterone therapy or cheaper or covered by insurance?
Is it even covered? Yeah,
it's not, and that's not cheap either. But I do think it's a lot cheaper than what women have. Like you can actually find it for about $150 a month.
That's just being consistent because everything for women is more expensive.
I guess.
Sounds like it. Having 2 daughters, it's
we're not dealing. But but men aren't dealing with the same thing as women are. We just want to keep our, I don't know if it's vitality, but just our energy up. Yeah,
with less crying. At commercials on TV and stuff like that. High tea. Keep your tea up. Come on.
Yeah.
You can do the one thing men can do that women can't to some extent is they have an effect on that. You can do exercise. You can do some stuff to increase your T levels. I hear.
Yeah, you can.
Naturally, it's if you're low enough, it's not going to matter. But I don't think women can do that going through menopause.
Right. And the other thing is, it looks like there's a lot of freaking 20-year-olds that need more testosterone nowadays.
That's a good point. I just fear this kind of is just makes insurance more expensive. You just keep adding more onto it. It's not like they're just going to eat the cost. They're just going to increase your insurance premium.
Right.
So, yeah. I think getting the price down could help both, actually.
Yeah. I don't think this bill is good, but we need to find a way to bring the cost down.
It's brought up by 2 Democrats. So right off the bat, it was kind of sus, but
it's a hottie bill.
definitely not. Definitely not a hottie bill. So yeah, check that out. Let us know what you think. I don't know. The next one is kind of along the similar lines in medical. They have a bill in the state legislature, SB in the Senate, SB 230, which would allow pharmacy or pharmacologists, those people at the pharmacy, to treat you for illnesses like cold and COVID and all that kind of stuff. Like you can go get shots which you already kind of can, right?
Not just the flu shot.
Yeah. Okay. So you can get, COVID too. Yeah, COVID. Because
I think COVID, and I think there's a couple more that you can do too.
But now they want to make it so that you can, instead of going to a doctor for, let's say you've got a cold and you need some antibiotics, you could just get it from a checkup at your pharmacy. I'm like, I'm not sure. Will they get more training as a pharmacy, in the pharmacy if they're doing these kind of things? Like, how are they? They're not doctors. They're not even nurses. What do you think? Like you talked to plenty of pharmacists.
I think this would be good for rural counties.
Yes.
Areas. I don't want this really, because I think people there's so many hypochondriacs. It's just too much, Rob. Too much.
Well, yeah, and that's the first place I go to is we already have a problem with at least we did. I'm not sure if it's still, I think it's still a thing, but over prescribing antibiotics. Well, is this going to help or hurt? I think they're going to get more prescribed then. But also if you're prescribing medicine, shouldn't you have some sort, you got to have a little extra training at least, right? I don't know. Because in pharmacy school, I don't think they talk about like checking their symptoms and say, kind of stuff.
Right.
And it doesn't really...
talk about that at all.
It doesn't talk about it at all, which is why I brought it up. I kind of questioned it now because I'm looking through it again to make sure I didn't miss any. Sometimes they sneak it in here and there when I'm skimming over some of these. on last run through. But the bill not only ties into hot button issues like chronic absenteeism and truancy. Yeah, I'm sure in like we're talking about the Akron or something, or no, the president or the governor's state of the state.
Yeah,
East Cleveland. I'm sure it's because they can't get access to it.
That's baloney.
I'm sure that's why they're. I mean, there is a something to be said. I mean, it's 10% of your school days. You could get sick enough, I guess, but I don't think this is going to do much. But respiratory infections rank amongst the leading causes for school absentee and missed work days. Yeah,
I don't care about any of that. They have access to a doctor.
Yeah.
I think this would be kind of good for a small little town where, your Nana can't get to the doctor that's an hour away.
Yeah, I think it would be good. Definitely rural areas because there's a lot less choices. And
but
when you're in the urban area, you can have urgent cares at every corner. It seems like
right. Yeah, so I don't know, and I think rural areas kind of have like your little. I think you have more of the. Well, to tell you the truth, I'm just assuming, but I would think there's a little bit more doctors going to homes rather than having to come to the doctor. Not sure.
Does not allow pharmacists to replace or even compete with physicians, nor does it remove referrals or collaborations. Rather, much like House Bill 52, which wisely helped address worker shortages by authorizing broader practices for medical professionals, Senate Bill 230, mutually beneficial design, allows pharmacists and doctors to cooperate more fully, easing physician burdens and delivering low-risk, quality patient care and affordable cost. Okay. I see that, but I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think it's horrible, but I don't know. People just take this antibiotic. Take that. Anybody gets an antibiotic.
I just see it in cities that people would just take advantage of it and probably abuse it.
And most people I know at work, they come to work sick, so I don't know what the heck they're talking about. They come to work.
I'm not taking a sick day out when I'm sick.
Don't worry, it's not COVID. Don't worry.
Oh, thanks. As long as it's not COVID, I appreciate it. Get me of the other germs, but not the COVID germs. Thanks. So that's that. That's working through. We're going to check it out, see what happens, see what they deliberate on next. We have next. Yes. Next is a good one. This is SB 293, ballot drop boxes. They've introduced a bill. Of course, Democrats introducing it, so it's not going to go anywhere. But Secretary of State candidate Robert Sprague criticizes Democratic pro-ballot box bill. So Republican Ohio Secretary of State candidate and current Ohio Treasurer of State Robert Sprague criticized his Democrat opponent, State Rep Allison Russo, Democrat Upper Arlington, for introducing a bill to place ballot boxes at every polling location.
8,000 drop boxes across Ohio. That's a 10,000% increase.
Yep. If you're looking at ways to completely gut election security in Ohio, these are two policies that would do it, according to Sprague's campaign manager. Wow, that's a nice name. Dalton Throckmorton. Well, that's a hell of a name. He told Ohio, this is Ohio News, How.News article. During the interview, Sprague promised to continue Secretary of State Frank Russo's voting integrity legacy. So by not passing this is not going to pass. But I think some of the quotes in here were pretty good. One of them: many people rely on absentee ballots, whether they are seniors, people with disabilities, college students away from home, or workers and caregivers whose schedules make in-person voting difficult, she said in a release. Making the return of absentee ballots more straightforward, reliable, and convenient ensures that these voters are not left out of the democratic process.
It's our democracy, Rob.
This is Russo that said that. Yes, it's a month-long voting. Somehow you're so busy at work that you can't find the time in a whole month to go and vote, to take the 5 seconds to go in and vote. Because when you're doing it a month early, there's nobody in line. I mean, shoot, there's barely anybody in line when you go on the day of anymore.
Too many barriers.
Way too many barriers, Tom. I mean, look at all these barriers.
I'd like to add a few more.
I was waiting for one. I was looking for them. I couldn't see any, so I didn't say anything. Oh my gosh. It's typical. I mean, oh my gosh. It's, oh no. What are you going to do? How are you going to vote? Morgan's so upset when they're changing the law. Now you have to have your ballot on that before. It has to be mailed in hand before or on the time of a day of election. What are you going to do on election day if you go? You can't. There's nothing you can do. I mean, besides go to the voting booth and vote. Other than that, or the 3 weeks prior, like I think it needs to be harder to vote. Oh my God! Did I just say that?
I do. This. I think there should be more barriers.
Yeah, it should be. It should be harder to vote. Not harder to vote, but more secure. And spreading out over a month. Most people don't make their decision until like 2 weeks before it's like so much can happen in a month in an election and people have already voted. It's ridiculous. So that's not going to pass anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But we can still at least have to cover it and make fun of it. There's that. The next one's going to be a good one, Tom. So we're having a debate at the state legislature right now, and they're hearing testimony in HB 249, which is banning drag time story hour. I put a lawsuit in. It's not a lawsuit. Because the state legislature is debating on whether they're going to pass this. And no, I mean, we can't get away from a story like this without having a great clip from Morgan Trowell. This is a new Channel 5 story. Drag queen testifies against Ohio performance ban. Oh, Morgan.
What?
Can't play Morgan anymore. In this case, he's definitely definitely kind of a twat. But the horror. What's going to happen to these people? What's going to happen? Let's find out.
News 5's Columbus Bureau reporter Morgan Trowell tells us why some lawmakers want the ban and how this could impact the arts.
Growing up in a conservative family, Andrew Levitt says he hid himself for years.
I was also worried that if people truly knew who I was, I would no longer belong or fit in.
But in college, he says he found his identity.
Drag is something that saved my life. When I met entertainers who are drag queens, they gave me a place to call home when I didn't have a place to live, when I didn't have the familial support that I was just so desperately needing.
When Levitt gets on stage, he transforms into nationally awarded drag queen Nina West.
I'm an entertainer who has proudly worked with incredible companies like Disney. I've written a children's book. I have released a children's album.
But he worries about a bill that would impact his art.
And we worry about the children.
You can't perform that obscene performance with a minor being present.
Toledo area Republican Josh Williams introduced a bill that would ban drag performances in any places other than adult cabarets, which include nightclubs and sex shops. Ohio has a statute regarding performances that are harmful to juveniles or obscene. This used to just apply to exotic dancers, but now Williams wants to add a provision on people who exhibit a gender identity that is different from the performers or entertainers' gender assigned at birth using clothing or makeup.
We've seen performances at public parks that cross the line.
Drag is not a crime, and this is a slippery slope when you want to put us in a specific venue or area or part of town. We're compartmentalizing and dangerously placing people in boxes.
Williams says the bill wouldn't apply to appropriate drag, and it's written in a way that obscenity could be determined by individual law enforcement. Previously, House Speaker Matt Huffman said he wasn't sure if this bill was constitutional under the First Amendment, but he has changed course.
Local governments and clubs, through enabling legislation, have the ability to control these kinds of things.
Levitt doesn't want any kid to feel like he did growing up, and says this bill could prevent people from finding their circle.
I don't want you feeling
What happens if this community goes away?
This community is never going away. We will fight this, and we will overcome. Love always overcomes hate.
Does it?
Drag in public could result in 18 months in prison. At the Ohio State House, I'm Columbus Bureau reporter Morgan Trout.
I mean, seriously.
Think of the children. Won't somebody please think of the children?
Like, I'm not even joking. Let's got to do another one.
No, stop. Think of the
Like,
children.
seriously. We'll do all three of them.
For the children.
I mean, what's with all the talk about children?
Isn't it something else, man? It's so obvious.
Well, I've written a children's book. I've worked with Disney. That's what we're worried about.
I don't get it. Like, if somebody is pro-trans rights or whatever you want to call it, that's one thing. But this is drag. And it's like, it's almost, I don't know if it's mocking women, but it's definitely like absurd.
Like the menstrual shows, right? We talked about that on another show.
I don't know if we ever brought it up on the show. I know me and you have talked about it, but I always laugh because feminists seem to always kind of stick up for drag queens. And it's like, it's a minstrel show. And poking fun or kind of everything's exaggerated from the makeup to the tits to the ass to the clothes they wear. It's, I don't know, it's kind of mocking women.
And it portrays women as big fat people because most of the guys are
oftentimes it does.
Like heavy set women with exaggerated features, yeah.
And these are guys playing women. It's
but you have to ask yourself a question. This is what everybody has to ask a question. This is what I always ask.
I guess where I was going was why do drag queens have to read to children, write books? Is this guy doesn't dress up in drag during the day? He just does shows. So why does he have to do drag queen story hour or something? Things to that effect.
Yes, that's my question.
Like if it was a trans person that was actually trying to look like what they feel they are reading to children, I'd still be against it, but it wouldn't be so jarring as to why you want somebody that's dressed in drag reading to children.
Now this guy, maybe not, but some of the stuff I see, they're dudes dressed as women in a lingerie dancing to children. Now,
I've seen that. Yeah.
The question everybody needs to ask themselves, or anybody else who's for this, but really don't ask. You don't need to ask why children need to see drag shows. What you want to ask is, why do drag queens crave an audience of children?
Yeah.
They're not just, they are pushing so hard at this. When you got parents going, no, are you crazy? I don't even want this anywhere near my kids. Just like, I don't want to bring my daughters to have hey, can we have strip club story hour at the school? How's that? Would that work too? Because stripping's not a crime either, but we don't let you do it in public. We don't let you do it at the park. We don't let you do it at the library, the church. I guess if it's a private church, you can do whatever you want in there. But hello, same freaking thing. Same freaking thing. Yeah. Morgan. The arts. It's going to hurt the arts. That's what the guy said. Oh, it might hurt. This isn't
art. I mean, well, you know what?
Art is.
I'm kind of okay with that. Yeah. If they want to call it that, that's fine with me. It's a performance, so it's art. But how are you ruining it if you're keeping it from children? Well, trying to keep it from children.
Well, this guy, I mean, it saved his life. Damn conservatives.
My big fake titties saved my life.
Ugh. So I knew that this story would, kind of get my blood pressure going. So I figured I could slip in a little bit of do you remember back when it was just G? Here, let's listen. This is Jeff Dye on stage. Remember when it was just G?
Remember when LGBTQ was just G? Oh, simpler times. You know what I mean? Now it's LGBTQ2I+. And the plus means more is coming. That's gonna be real long soon. That's fine. You can make up whatever shit you want, but you know it's all gay. It's all gay. Well, I was fine with just G. Yeah, it's all gay. And they're going, no, it's this and this. That's all. Let's go through them.
Yes, let's go through a couple of these.
What is L? Lesbian, right? But that's just a gay lady. She's already G. You don't get to be L too. Just be happy with G. L's out. All right, and then what's B? Bisexual, that's
Bisexual.
Right. And bisexual, that's fucking gay for sure. Bisexual
Great
means
analogy.
you like all the private parts.
Great analogy.
You know, you can't choose. And that's, I'm not bisexual, but I can get my mind around it. Yes, I understand, you know. I'm like that with ice cream. Whenever I'm going to get ice cream, I have to give myself a little pep talk. Like, all right, Jeff, just get one. That's how you got a tummy ache last week. But then I get to ice cream and I see all the flavors and all the colors and I'm like, yeah, give me more. And the bees feel like that about genitals. But I think that's still just gay. I think we're at gay.
Still at gay.
So we're still at G.
Still at G.
Right, so B's out, L's out.
Remember when it was just G? Oh, those were the days. Oh, okay, I feel better now.
You know, I feel sorry for the gay people that are kind of just
gay.
Just gay.
The gay white male is what you're...
Because I think they hate a lot of this as much as...
Oh, yeah. I knew a coworker. He doesn't work for us anymore, but his son was gay. And he was not afraid. He was a circle back kind of guy. So, you know, where he used to listen to a lot of press conferences from Pasake. Because he's always circling back. And he was very proud of his gay son, which, hey, whatever. It's not, you know... Hey,
I don't know if it's something to be proud of.
Oh, again...
But it's, you know, you love your son.
Yeah.
I mean, you just, you know, whatever. You don't have to be proud of it. Just treat your son normal. And
yeah. Whenever I say that, I just come up with the Norm Macdonald skit from, I can't remember what talk show. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm proud of my son. Look, he likes cock. But, you know, he's proud. He brings it, oh, yeah, my son, it comes up and now and again. So everybody knows this. And I mentioned, I said, you know, what's his feeling on this trans? This a couple years ago, probably. He's like, this, you know, was really hot. He's like, what the heck is going? You know, he was like totally again, like he's like, it's horrible and it's not good. He's like, well, yeah, because your son's a white gay man. Like he's not even in the spectrum anymore. He's been pushed so far out of the LGBTQ. He's like, yeah, and it was shocking. It was I did not expect to get that reaction from him.
Well, yeah, but I think that is the overwhelming feeling among the gay community.
I think at first they were, you know, supportive of it, but then it basically has taken over the whole movement. It's no longer about gays, it's about trans movement now. And it's, I mean, yeah, we'll move on because it's just beating the dead horse, I guess. So they're going to go through this drag. This is like the test. They're debating the bill or whether it's going to pass or not. I think it's going to pass. And the art scene is just it's never going to be the same. And I'm okay with that.
Does that mean there's a couple places I would like to go to brunch, but I don't have to see them advertising their drag brunch hour or whatever they call it? Yes, exactly. Not going to do it at libraries or public parks. Well, libraries and public parks, that's good. But what if a bar that does, you know, brunches on Sundays and they want to do a brunch a drag show brunch hour or whatever.
Drag brunch.
Yeah, whatever they call it.
It sounds like they want to put this in the same category as stripping, I guess, as a strip club. Like that's weekend. It has to be a club. Sounds like to me it has to be a place specifically for adult entertainment.
Now, okay,
that's what it sounds.
But see, I don't know if that's right. I think a bar should be able to do it as long as they keep minors out.
Yeah,
don't you?
Yeah,
I'm not trying to stick up for them, but at the same time, it's kind of like
you got to weigh the private property rights too. If you want to, if you own a bar and you want to have this at your bar, I can understand that, and it's your bar, but you better be carding people at the door.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
Just like you would do for alcohol. I mean, you're doing that for alcohol. You can't. You have at your bar. You're allowed to sell alcohol because you have to get a permit because they want to make sure you don't sell it to underage kids. Is one of the reasons.
Well, the thing, yeah, but they're allowed to sell. You could still bring your kid there.
Correct.
So you gotta now they gotta. I think they should be able to have their drag shows wherever they want to, as long as there's no kids there. But who's going to enforce that?
I mean, some bars
like you said, is it just going to be a building that's specifically for like a strip bar? Where they can, topless, we can sell alcohol, but bottomless, it's just a juice bar. Or what, I'm not exactly sure what they do nowadays, but that's how it used to be.
And there are some bars that don't allow anybody under drinking age in a lot of cases. I mean, they have that right. If you've gotten busted, I've seen going to, I actually was talking to my daughter's guitar teacher, and they had one venue where they wouldn't let a 12-year-old on stage in the bar.
Right. I think at night they try to avoid that. I think during the day, if it's a place that serves dinners, I don't know how much. Yeah. Not that people are bringing their kids to brunch. I mean, they're going there to have a couple of mimosas and eat and see some weird show. But
I think the law is good.
No, I was just going to say you don't want them letting that family that wants their kid to see that.
Sure. Right now, I think the law is for a restaurant like that is the underage person can't sit at the bar.
Right.
But they can be in the restaurant and stuff like that. It's probably similar at bars. You just can't sit at the bar, which is a weird thing, but it is a thing. So, I mean, yeah, there's property rights. You should be able to do within reason, but there's stipulations. So a lot of stuff. You can sell cigarettes there, but you can't sell them to minors, that kind of stuff. So maybe you're right. Maybe that's the happy medium. I think the way they explained it in the clip there, it's way too complicated. They're like, oh, if the gender is the same dress and the blah, blah, blah. It's like, how is somebody, that's so subjective. But they did also say one of the things they put in there is it's up to the discretion of the officer on scene to determine.
Well, see, that's messed up too, because you can, I mean, there are activist freaking cops.
Yeah.
Maybe Cleveland isn't so bad, but you go into these other cities, they're communists.
Yeah. But it's, I mean, somebody's got to make that decision because it's very subjective on what could be obscene or a drag show, or like how much makeup does the guy have to have on to become a drag queen? I don't know. How do you legislate that? That's pretty hard to begin with. But I just think, you can't have any minors at a drag show would be, but then you have to define drag show. Get back to the same thing. So there is that coming through. So we'll see how far I think it'll pass. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not sure it's going to be a great bill, like it's going to do a lot, but I think, like I said, the wording seems a little.
I don't think here in Ohio we have that much of an issue. Mm-hmm. We just, you just don't want it to get bad.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't have kids either, and I don't pay attention to where the drag shows are, except for when I see it come through my feed at maybe a club that I follow on Instagram.
Mm.
And I mean, I know some librarians locally here got upset because they canceled Drag Time Story Hour, which I was like, really? The library was doing this? And I guess the only reason they really canceled it was, people did complain, and it's tax funded. So they had to stop it.
Yeah. I just don't understand the mind of somebody who would say, no, yes, little kids need to see this because you never know. They might be trans. And that's the whole point of that.
Yeah, but a drag isn't really trans. You know what I mean?
True. True.
That guy's just dressing up as a woman. He's just a fag walking around during the day, but at night he puts on a dress, and that's not exactly trans. If he was walking around like that all day, then I'd be like, well, okay, he's trans.
Yeah, good point. But without it, he'd be dead right now, he thinks.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Hey, whatever. All right, we'll keep an eye on it. We'll see what happens. Again, we think it'll pass, but one never knows nowadays. Let's see what spineless Republicans can do. How spineless can they be? All right, next we have a little update. We haven't talked about the Browns Stadium very much. It's not a whole lot to talk about. They've gotten some battles in courts. Dennis Kucinich came back in the news for a little while. He was fighting the funding of the Browns Stadium mainly.
Kucinich did?
Kucinich did. He was part of a lawsuit. It got dismissed pretty quick.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
And the current one right now is Ohio unclaimed funds for sports stadiums. Law was blocked by state court, but not federal court. So a state judge, there's two suits, federal and state, and they're kind of opposed to each other right now. So kind of got mixed messages of what's going on here. But basically they're kind of pissed because the state took a chunk of the, they gave $600 million to the Browns, but the whole total is like $2.5 million, $2.5 billion, I should say, to come out of the unclaimed fund. And to put in another fund to help with upgrading or adding sports facilities in the state of Ohio. The first one being the Brown Stadium at Brook Park. They're getting $600 million. Now, to me, if you're a Browns fan, we talked about this before. I think if you're a Browns fan, you should like this legislation or this funding because it guarantees the Browns cannot move anywhere because they're in a state or a publicly funded facility according to state law. It can't move now. Again, that law could be changed and all that stuff. But as of now, it kind of what it's buying for the state is the security of keeping the Browns. Whether that's a plus for the state or not, you can argue. You can argue that, but that's the way it is. I think that's the way I see it. That's what you're paying for this. That's what you're paying for keep the Browns here. Otherwise, if they funded all themselves in 15 years, they could just go, see ya. Nothing holding us back from leaving. And with the way the Browns have been, you got to have something to keep them here. Otherwise. So they think that this will, I think this is going to get thrown away because the federal court has stated there should be no injunction because there are plenty of ways for the people to get their money. Like it's not
keeping people from getting their money.
Yeah. The $2.5 billion it took is from money. It's one big lump sum, but there's half of that fund that's been there more than 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's ever going to get claimed at this point. And if it does, you're still going to get your money back.
Right.
They're just borrowing from the fund. And then over the next 16 years, I think it was, they're going to pay the fund back.
It's not really a bad thing, if you ask me.
We can go through we don't want to give any money to billionaires who are building stadiums, but this is the way it's done everywhere, almost everywhere, with very few exceptions. So this is, I think, the best deal I've seen so far as it's, it's not putting the state in debt. So I guess that's a win for me.
And there's no more like syntax or anything either, right? No, I know it's still there, but they're not asking for more that way.
No, they're going to pay this back out of the general fund over the next 16 years. So it's going to be tax dollars paying it back, but it's not an extra tax. They're just going to take money out of the general fund to make payments on it. Gotcha. So I mean, the way it looks to me, the syntax was crap. I mean, it's still crap. We're looking at it now that they don't have it. Syntax doesn't even bring enough money to keep maintenance on these buildings. They need something else. They're talking about increasing it or adding another one. Maybe that's what this fund is for. So when the Cavs want to put in, $100 million project or $50 million project into the arena, and they want the city or state to pay for half of it, here you go. This is going to happen. Cincinnati's already looking to redo their football stadium, which is newer than the Browns. Pretty sure it's newer than the Browns, yeah. And I think the Blue Jackets possibly looking at something in Columbus. for their arena. It's been there a while. So this is going to keep coming up. And I mean, that's that. Tell us what you think. Let us know. If you're a Browns fan, what do you think of this legislation? What do you think of my opinion? You think it's a good thing if you're a Browns fan? Keeps your team, our team, in the state. All right, Tom. I've been waiting all day for this. Almost all week for this story. So let's hit it. Good things segment.
We bring good things to life.
Oh man, what a story. What a story. Does anyone remember Afroman? Somebody was saying Afroman.
Because I got high.
Because I Got High. A famed music, 2000 it was released. Because I Got High. What a song. That song was great. And everybody went, parents were like, oh, but if you listen to the lyrics, he's telling you how everything in his life got screwed up because he got high.
Right.
So this is Afroman. He's still doing shows apparently and making, music, I guess, but not really in the limelight up until recently. So story is Adams County, America One. This is a new, Cincinnati ABC WCPO affiliate. America One jury sides with rapper Afroman in Adams County civil trial. So 3 years ago, I think it was, he gets raided by the cops, by the Adams County Sheriff's Department on an informant tip that he's got narcotics and human trafficking, kidnapping. Let's hear a little bit from what we have here. We have little background from this website called Legal Mindset I was listening to about this and getting some info on. It's pretty, it kind of breaks it down. Let's go real quick. They break into his house, find nothing, and they leave. So they break his gate, they break his door, and he decides to start making videos, making fun of the officers because he's got security cameras all through his house, inside of his house. And so he took that footage, started posting songs with videos of them, to make money, to what he says, to repay, to fix his door and his gate. And apparently the cops did not like that. So they sued him. Now this is a civil trial, not a criminal trial. So things are way different as far as the rules in a civil trial. So it's a little more colorful than they normally are. And let's do a little background again. This is from Legal Mindset, the YouTube channel.
Let's get into the case real quick for a background and those that may or may not know. Obviously, we had the defendant here, Afroman Joseph Edgar Foreman, against the plaintiff, Adams County Sheriff. These are the parody depictions from one of Afroman's videos. We got Officer Poundcake, the Hunchback, Lick'em Low Lisa, as she goes by, and all of those cast of characters that were coming against him after a raid on his house. His house was raided under suspicion of narcotics and kidnapping. They smashed his front door open, his gate. They searched his entire house. They took cash. They debatably took pound cake, but they found no drugs, no kidnapping victims. And because that Afroman was reasonably upset, and because of that, he worked back and did something nonviolent, as we do, using his speech to parody the incompetence of law enforcement through parody videos he put up on his website. Yep. Now, after he used that surveillance footage to create parody videos and mock them, they decided to sue him for defamation. Now, we have a verdict in that case, and that case, as we can say, did not go well for the sheriffs.
It's been an emotional case. It's been a well-tried case. The lawyers did what they should do. The parties did what they should do. In all circumstances, the jury finds in favor of the defendant. No plaintiff verdict prevailed.
That means complete Afroman victory. On all counts, it goes to the defendant that it's Afroman. Everything in his favor. Not a single officer prevailed against him. That is an absolute and complete Afroman W.
Yes. So I started looking into the trial. And there's 5 or 6 officers. And the videos he's putting out are so good. And at one point in the video, there's this heavyset officer, which doesn't, I mean, there's a lot of them out there, I think, but he's walking through the kitchen with his gun out, because it's very scary in this Afroman's house. And he's walking past, I don't know if you saw it, he's walking past the counter with the lemon pound cake on the pedestal and the clear, and he's like keeps going back and looking at it, steps back, looks at it again, and you just wait for him to take a slice. So they got him on the stand, this Officer Poundcake, and they're asking him like, what, was this, or he asked him, why was this Rogers guy, Afroman, why was he calling you Officer Poundcake? The guy was like, I don't know why. I'm like, what? Okay, so you sued, but you don't know why you sued? All he knows is that hundreds of lemon pound cakes were sent to the station. And I'm saying that's a bad thing. I mean, some of them could not be that great, but so what they had, this is the beauty of all these legal channels are saying. The beauty of this case is they got to show the cops all the videos in court. Like the defense showed the videos in court. Defense did, not the cop side. This guy, he's like, okay, well, we're gonna have to show it, So he's on the stand. He has to watch the video. So what's the video like? Well, it's this. He did a bunch of songs, 4 or 5 songs, I think. One of them, this one's called Lemon Pound Cake, and you might recognize the song because he kind of is a cover. And he's got this guy in it, and it's a great song. So let's take a listen. Hopefully it comes out good, but I tried to fix it a little bit. Let's see. But this is too good.
I got it on.
You what?
I got it on Spotify here.
Okay, I have it.
Oh, okay. I thought you
had
a
clip of it.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have a clip of it on. Should be okay.
The Adams County Sheriff kicked down my door. Then I heard the glass break. They found no kidnapping victims, just some lemon pound cake. Mama's lemon pound cake. It tastes so nice. It made the sheriff wanna put down his gun and cut him a slice. Of what? Lemon pound cake. He wanna put down his Glock. Lemon pound cake. Trending on TikTok. Lemon pound cake. He's a family guy. Lemon pound cake. The munchies because he got hot. Lemon pound cake. Pound cake.
You may have recognized that song. The other one I saw was "Will You Repair My Door?" And that's all security video of them going through his house. And he's like, "Well, did you find any kidnapped victims in my suit pockets? Did you find 1,000 pounds of weed in my suit pockets?" So they the next one. I'll play the next clip because this is testimony from the trial, and one of the ones that I saw was this officer Lisa, Lick'em Low Lisa Lick'em Lows. They're playing his song, and she's in tears listening to the song of him making fun of her. You're an officer. You're a sheriff, the deputy. You get a little tougher skin than that. I mean, all he's saying that she's a lesbian, and she's
another reason that women should not be cops.
No, she is. She's got a very deep voice. I think it's. I mean, apparently she has kids. So as long as she didn't adopt those kids, she's probably not trans. But they were making fun of her being trans.
She licks them low.
So I think it's an actual female, not a trans. But I would hope that would come out in the case. But
I think he was saying she's a lesbian, right?
I don't. Maybe I don't
That's
know
what lick 'em low means.
Yeah, but no, yes, I do know that. I don't know if she was actually a lesbian or not. But what he did was after this incident, he started, in the town as he's running into people because Afroman probably sticks out with his afro, and people are talking to him about what happened, and they're giving him feedback. Well, this officer is like this, and I know this officer when he was in school, and they're giving him all this information. So he starts making videos on it. One of them videos is he's claiming that he had sex with one of the officer's wives. He's claiming this is hurting him, and this is a clip from the testimony. This is a good one because his reaction is a little odd, if you ask me.
But the clips didn't stop there. There's even more ridiculous moments from the courtroom with the officers. The next one is one that I couldn't believe.
So you're claiming that is the defamation statement, is that he said he had sex with your wife?
Yes.
Okay. And that's painted you in a false light?
It's caused tremendous pain in my life.
I'll get to that. We have to go through false light first. So does it paint you in a false light?
Yes, that my wife is cheating on me with Mr. Foreman.
But we all know that's not true, correct?
I don't know.
He doesn't know if his wife is cheating on him with Afroman. That look of genuine shock where he's like, I don't know whether my wife is. Well, you're claiming this is false, but now you're saying you don't even know if your wife is out
destroyed
there
his own claim,
going and running off with Afroman in the middle of the night. You're actually this parody video injected doubt in this man. This is something I have never seen in a courtroom before. Genuine questions of marital fidelity over a rap video mocking and parodying this guy. Absolutely. Once again, I've not seen clips like this and quotes like this from a case anywhere else, but it doesn't. Once again, they don't stop there. Now we get into another clip where we're talking about one of the female officers.
Mr. Foreman posted that Lisa Phillips likes to have with other women. He used other words. She ate my ex-wife just like pizza.
I never thought I would hear she ate my ex-wife just like pizza in a courtroom. I never really thought I would hear that, really, ever. But here we are in the Afroman case.
Eating, blah, blah, blah.
This is in court.
And over thousands of times on the internet.
This is the best part.
People saw it. People laughed. People from out of state. But people here in Adams County would sometimes yell at her when they saw her. Hey, Lisa Low Phillips. That was his nickname for her.
Man. Oh, I mean, I gotta
say the lawyers did not prep these cops at all.
No, the lawyers, and then we'll get to that because the next one I actually have Afroman on the stand, and this lawyer, what a slime ball! But he doesn't seem like I don't think there's much of a case there. That's part of the problem.
No, there's no. To claim defamation, that's hard to do. It's really hard to do.
I think the closest part was he claims one of the cops is a pedophile, and I think that was I saw some previous videos of this legal mindset guy before the trial started. He's like, this might be the one that they may get him on because it's provable or disprovable, and the lawyer botched it so bad he just like, well, I heard from this person that he did, and his brother's been convicted of to be a sex predator is on the registry. So I just assumed he was the same, and that was the end of it. They got him on nothing. So let's hit Afroman Takes the Stand. This is from a YouTube channel called Here's the Deal, like a legal channel, and there's some trying to get him on why he didn't get the police report right away. It took him 3 years. He didn't actually see the investigation report. So he claims that they took cash and didn't give him it all back. Like $400 is missing. And they started looking into it, and the lawyer's trying to make it out like he didn't really care too much about it until the publicity started catching on or something to that effect. And yeah, when Afroman tears apart your argument, you should really just hang up that law degree.
Here, the attorney representing the deputies grills Afroman on why, years after the break-in, he had not seen the investigation report himself.
You knew, didn't you, Mr. Foreman, that there had been an investigation by the Claremont County Sheriff's Office into the discrepancy about the cash that was missing from your home, correct? You knew there was an investigation.
Yeah, I knew the sheriffs was investigating themselves.
Oh, that's how you saw it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did you ever ask for a report so you could see how bad this investigation of themselves really was?
Yes, I was trying to get involved any way I can. The investigation was going on without any of my participation.
Did you ask for a copy of the report?
I did. I asked for everything. I was trying to be involved.
So you've seen the report?
No, I have not.
Okay.
I just saw.
All right. So a little context here. Right about now, he tries to trick him And the lawyer he tries to say, hey, why didn't you ask for the police report when you came and picked up the cash? He goes, because I didn't know it was missing until after I picked it. Like, how would I ask for a report that didn't happen yet, basically? But also keep in mind, go back to the blog when you get this and check out the story, because he got a custom-made suit on of American flags, just a whole bunch of American flags. He's got American flag glasses on, along with lots of large rings on his fingers, one of them with a big old pot leaf on it. So he's the American dream. American dream. All right, let's continue.
A few minutes ago.
Well, you had an attorney when you got the cash returned, correct?
At the station?
Yes.
I had an attorney. Yeah, my attorney was present.
Did your attorney ask for a copy of this report?
It wasn't in it. When I got my cash back from the station, it wasn't an investigation until we realized money was missing.
Well, did you contact your attorney and say, hey, get me a copy of that report? Your testimony is you never saw a copy of Detective Robinson's report until today.
Yes, sir.
And that's because you didn't want to see a copy of the investigation.
I did want to see. You don't know what I want. I did want to see it.
You did.
I wanted everything that had something to do with my money coming.
And that was 3.5 years ago, correct? And you haven't seen a copy of that report that you wanted to see until this afternoon. Is that right?
That's right.
That's right.
I never had my money taken by cops. I didn't know how this goes. I don't know about reports. All I know is live on Fox 19 News, the lady admits that her department is short $400 of my money. That's all I know. I don't know how to investigate police officers taking money.
That's all you know, and that's all you know today, isn't it? That's the whole basis of your claim that your money was stolen, is that the amount of money that was in the bags is different from the amount of money that was written on the bag.
Yeah, my whole thing is they never should have raided me in the first place.
That's your whole thing.
That's my whole thing.
That's the point,
That's my whole thing.
it?
If they never would have showed up, there would be no songs about them. I wouldn't know who they are. Their faces would not be on my video cameras. None of this, we wouldn't be in this room right now if they hadn't raided my house and didn't press no charges, didn't even know what they was doing. This whole thing is their fault, and they're suing me for their mistake.
And so you don't really care if they stole your money or not. You're just mad about what they did.
I do care about if they stole them. Police officers shouldn't be stealing the civilians' money. So I do care. All of it is an outrage. But this whole thing is an outrage.
Exactly. There we go. Thank you very much, Afroman. Thank you very much.
Well, I got to say, I thought this was a dumb case, and it's so hard to prove defamation, and mainly because if somebody's a public official or a public figure and you say something, you have to know you're lying.
Yeah, it's a high bar.
Yeah, that's a really high bar to pass.
But Tom, they's mad. They's big time mad.
These Ohio cops should be disgraced.
Yeah, they are. They're currently being disgraced by Afroman.
Well, they should be fired.
And his videos have millions of views. And most of them are over 1 million views for his and the lemon pound cake video. Part of the video is the surveillance cameras. The other part of the video is him playing it live in front of audiences. I don't know if they did that for the video or not, but he's still. I mean, he's back in the limelight because of the raid on this. And he got just a tip from an informant saying that he's kidnapping and sex trafficking or whatever. I don't know if it was trafficking or kidnapping and narcotics. Even in the one video, it's like he says that the line is like the warrant said narcotics and kidnapping. Why does it say narcotic? Well, I know why narcotics, but why kidnapping? So good for him.
Yeah, I don't even get the case. Like, I don't even. This is bizarre. But good for Afroman.
It makes it worse for the sheriff's office, for the deputies and stuff. It's all over the place. This is all in national news. It's all over the place. If they don't sue him, it never goes anywhere. Never goes anywhere. So there's going to be even more. They're going to get. Yeah, they're going to. I just want to hear that. Drive him. Hey, look, it's lick him low, Lisa. Lisa, lick him low. Oh my God. Yeah, and that other cop was like, later on, then shortly after that clip where he's like, I don't know if my wife's, and the lawyer's like, the Afroman's lawyer's like, so you don't know if she's cheating on you? And he just looks at her. Do you want to go there? And the lawyer's like, no, but you have to answer the question. Do you think she's cheating on her with Afroman? Well, I hope not. I've known that woman since grade school. I sure hope not. But I'm like, wow. What happens when your wife sees that? Anywho, let's wrap this baby up with one last story from the Good Things segment, which is, come on, get out and touch grass, people. Come on. The springtime is here. We got nice weather this weekend. In Cleveland Metroparks, we got a little article about outdoor recreation. Try it, learn it, live it. They got a bunch of programs in Metroparks for outdoor recreation. Backpacking, camping, rock climbing. Tom, we got to get the mountain bikes out this year. Dust those bad boys off. Like, seriously, dust them.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years since I've gone.
I gotta get I sit way too much for work. I gotta get out and take more walks and stuff. And I'm getting up there, and it's getting harder to keep that muscle mass. So let's get out and touch grass. What I'm saying.
You gotta raise that T.
Raise the T up. That's right. That's one of the natural ways you can raise your T. Is do some exercise and manly work, chop some wood and stuff. Snowshoeing, that's a thing. I guess it's walking in the snow on snowshoes. Snowshoeing.
There's some good trails in the Metroparks for that.
Yeah, I would say one of the biggest things that is going for Northeast Ohio is the Metroparks. It's one of the few places in the country that has any. I've had people come here before, especially when I was younger and a teenager, because that's where we went to drink.
Yeah.
Because I lived for a while. We could walk to the Metroparks. It was 10 blocks maybe, but we'd walk there or get dropped off, and then walk back later. But yeah, we get people from out of town, even just like Pittsburgh. You're like, what is Metroparks? What are you guys talking about? Like, oh, it's just this. They do that? Well, yeah, it's all over the place. So take advantage of it. It's not something that a lot of places have, and we do, and it's a great place. I think great place to take the family. We've had parties there, all kinds of stuff. I think first birthday parties we had there. My daughter's.
Oh, it's great. I mean, if you like photography, if you like backpack, like camping, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, it's a huge asset that we have in this region, and it's a great thing. So utilize it while you can. Check out the article. There's all kinds of places you can information to sign up for all kinds of trails. I mean, the mountain biking trails are freaking insane. I mean, you go on a mountain biking app, and you're within my house. I mean, there's got to be a dozen trails, like easy trails for me to go on.
Yeah.
So check it out. Go out and touch grass. It's a good thing. It's some vitamin D. Helps everybody out. And on that note, I think that's about it. I think we covered all the stories. We got, a full plate already for next week. It looks like they're already piling up for next week. But let us know if you find any shenanigans going on in your area.
I swear to God, I'll pistol whip the next guy that says shenanigans.
Send it our way. We always like to hear about local shenanigans in your local region, city, council, or village, or whatever it is. And send us a link or shoot us an email with anything you got going on. Share the show with your friends. Send it to your mom. Send it to your dad. Send it to your brother. Leave us a comment on your favorite podcasting app if you don't mind. It definitely helps spread the show, spread the word. And really appreciate everything. Thank you for your time. We'll talk to you next week.
Peace.